What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Wednesday, January 14th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night, and we've got a bunch of NBA plays. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So do me a huge favor, take that 10th of a second and slam that like button. It really helps get the video promoted to more people out there, and it's really helped the channel grow here recently. Big shout out to everybody that takes that second to hit that little thumbs up button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here or old around here. Check and just see if you are subscribed down below. It's a great way to make sure that you don't miss out on any of these videos. I post a new video every single day, so definitely make sure you're getting after that. And it's really a great way to keep me motivated to make these videos every single day, watching that little subscriber number creep up higher and higher. Also, get down in the comments. Let me know anything you want to say about these videos, about my picks. If you've got any questions about anything across the sports world, please feel encouraged to let me know. I personally read and usually answer every single solitary comment that I get every single day. Make sure you're checking the pinned comment throughout the day. That's the best place to find my favorite picks every single day, and you definitely want to be checking back a couple of times throughout the day just in case there's any changes, injury news coming out, anything like that could definitely end up affecting what's actually in the pinned comment. Although, you might have wanted to miss the pinned comment yesterday, guys, because it's looking absolutely brutal out there. We might go 0-6, and it's just been insanity, complete and total insanity. Providence, it was a close game, not close enough there as Villanova comes out on top in that one. That one wasn't that crazy. The Portland Golden State Warriors over might end up getting sunk because Portland just can't throw it in the ocean in this game. That's been really weird. The Hawks plus 1.5 is looking like it's in trouble. The Lakers shot 60% from three in the first half while playing on the second half of a back-to-back. That is not something I saw happening for that very old team. The Minnesota Golden Gophers there on the college side, they give a lead and eventually lose to a buzzer-beating three that their guy just didn't contest, at least not soon enough for some reason. That was really weird. We had the Spurs plus 6.5. We got really nervous as that number went up to around 9. And yeah, our dog of the day didn't work out. Oklahoma City made their shots and got the calls they need to be successful. I mean, the bench was just terrible there for the Spurs. Harrison Barnes was god-awful, and Wemby didn't even have a stellar night. So a big letdown game there from San Antonio. We had the Suns as our massive lock of the day. Bam, Norman Powell, and Tyler Hero all went absolutely nuclear in the same game. And despite that, Phoenix made a big effort there in the third quarter, actually had a small lead, but ran out of gas down the stretch. So a really, really bad night out there, guys. Thankfully, the premium picks went much, much better. It's a confirmed already 5-0 day over there on the college basketball side, cashing all 5 of our plays. We'll break those down here in a bit, but really just need a bounce back here in the video picks because that was a terrible, terrible Tuesday out there. So let's go ahead and dive in. Let's get after it. We're going to break down the college basketball games first today. And first up, right out of the gates here, we've got a barn burner. We've got the Iowa Hawkeyes going on the road to take on the number 15 Purdue Boilermakers. Iowa comes into this game 12-4 on the season. Their only losses this year came against Michigan State. They were ranked number 7 in the nation at that point. They lost at number 4 Iowa State in a very close game. Could have went either way. Then they've lost their last 2 in a row. A very close 3-point loss there in their game at Minnesota, and then losing 75-69 their last time out, losing against Illinois. So they've been extremely competitive in all these games, but the schedule is not getting any easier. Now they got to go on the road and take on Purdue. We've liked what we've seen from this team in general. I mean, their numbers are very good across the board, except for on the glass. They're not a very good rebounding team. The defense is excellent, don't get me wrong, so that's a big, big plus, but I do worry a little bit about what they're going to be able to do here on the glass against a Purdue team that is obviously among the elite of the elite in the nation. The Boilermakers are 15-1 on the season. They did lose to Iowa State there, but other than that, they've been perfect. They took down Penn State, albeit in a relatively competitive game. They also beat Washington. The game before that, they went to Wisconsin, got a blowout win. They've also beaten number 21 Auburn this year, so this team has put up some very, very good performances. Braden Smith looking like the best guard in the nation, or one of the best guards in the nation. 14 points, 10 assists, very, very elite stuff. This team is 38th in the nation total offense. They're an elite level rebounding team. They're an elite level defensive team. There's just not a lot of negatives to find for this team. Now, they did play a surprisingly close game against the Nittany Lions their last time out, but I mean, yeah, Braden Smith wasn't going to let him lose that one. He put up 26. Oscar Clough put up 23. They shot 38% from 3. They were terrible from the free throw line, and they did have a 1 rebound deficit, but they do come away with the win there, so very well played there from the Boilermakers. They come into this game 9.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 141.5. Iowa, they're 11-5 against the spread this year and 9-7 to the over. Purdue is 9-7 against the spread and 9-7 to the under. Purdue has their trip out to California. They're heading to USC and then to UCLA coming up. So that could be a little bit of a concern. Iowa, they've got a trip to Indiana on deck. So not quite as crazy of a trip. Actually, not even anywhere close as crazy of a trip as they head to Indiana after this one. So look at the numbers, guys. 10.5 is a lot of points. Iowa's been so good against the spread. I do think by hook or by crook, they find a way to keep this one competitive, to stay attached here to Purdue. So give me Iowa here getting the points. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Butler Bulldogs going on the road to take on the Xavier Musketeers. Now, in the Big East so far, Butler hasn't had a great time. They're 1-4 on the season. They've lost their last 3 in a row, losing a very competitive game there at Creighton, getting blown out against Villanova, and getting manhandled a little bit, losing by 14 there against St. John's. Now, those last 2 losses were both at home. Now they go back on the road, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, this team is okay. Their season-long numbers look very good, but when you look at their quality of opponent over the course of the season, it's not terrible necessarily, but I wouldn't put it in the elite category either. They're 64th in the nation total offense. That's nice. Their rebounding numbers look good. Their defense isn't great. Giving up 75.5 points per game obviously isn't ideal, but I'm sure they feel a lot better about their chances here heading to Xavier. The Musketeers, they're 2-4 in conference play this year. They are 10-7 overall. They're coming off a win, a kind of big win for them, taking down Providence, although Providence is only 1-5 in conference play, so let's not freak out too much. Trey Carroll leads this team in scoring, and putting up 16 points per game in a power conference is not nothing, but I'm also not going to just throw you in the elite category for that. Their rebounding numbers aren't great. Their offensive numbers are mediocre at best, and their defense is pretty bad, similar to what we're seeing from Butler. So we'll see what they get after in this one. They've shown the ability to be kind of all over the place this year, if we're being honest. But I haven't loved what we've seen from Xavier this year. So look at the numbers. The Musketeers are getting 1.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 159.5. Butler's 9-7 against the spread, 8-7-1 to the over. Xavier's 8-9 against the spread. They are 11-6 to the over. I definitely think over 159.5 is the better play in this game. I don't like either defense. I think we're seeing plenty of offense out there in this one, so do not be surprised if we see both teams scoring in the 80s in this one pretty freaking comfortably. In terms of a side, I will lean just slightly towards Butler here on the road, but I think the over is the better play here. Rolling right through these games, guys, we're looking at the Ole Miss Rebels going on the road, taking the number 21 Georgia Bulldogs in an SEC showdown. Now, Ole Miss, they're 9-7 on the year. They are coming off a big 76-69 win there over Mizzou. They were at home for this game, so let's not freak out too much. It was also their first conference win in SEC play. As the reward, they get to go on the road and take on number 21 Georgia, so we'll see how that goes. I do worry a lot about the rebounding numbers here of Ole Miss. They have not been great. Their defense is okay. Their offense, I mean, they kind of lack a legitimate big-time leading scorer, which is something you do usually expect to see in the SEC at this point. Also, didn't find a lot of non-conference success, losing to Iowa, Utah, Miami, and St. John's. They also lost to NC State. It has not been an easy road recently for Ole Miss. So we'll see what they can do here going up against the number 21 Georgia Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, they're 2-1 in conference play. They're coming off a win over South Carolina on the road, albeit a close one, winning that one 75-70 in a bounce back after losing at Florida in kind of embarrassing fashion. Jeremiah Wilkinson is a solid leading scorer, 17 points per game, not too bad there. The Bulldogs are actually first in the nation total offense, scoring 96.4 points per game. That's wild. They played a very up pace, so their rebounding numbers being off the charts, and their defense is not looking that incredible. That all kind of makes sense. That all kind of connects for me. We'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home. They are also 10.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 158.5 in this game. Ole Miss, they are 4-12. 4-12 against the spread this year. They're 10-6 to the over. Georgia, they are 7-9 against the spread. They are 9-7 to the over. I really like over in this game as well. Both teams scoring in the 80s seems very likely to me in this spot, so I will be leaning towards over 158.5, but I also like Georgia here a good amount. I think they take care of business here playing at home. They do have a bit of a look-ahead spot taking on Arkansas coming up next, so maybe that'll keep this out of the pinned comment, but I do think Georgia's in great shape in this one. Before we hop in and break down the Auburn Tigers heading to Mizzou to take on the Mizzou Tigers, we got to shout out the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that's StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to get over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers right now. As of today, as of every day, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. Those college basketball picks are absolutely red hot coming in today, going 5-0 there on Tuesday. It was a banner day on the college basketball side, cashing Western Illinois +8 as a 1-unit play. Massachusetts -2.5 as a 1-unit play. Fresno State +4.5 as a 1-unit play. Kent State -1.5 for a unit. and Evansville plus 6.5 is a 1-unit play as well. Very, very good work over there on the college basketball side. On the NHL side, ended up going 2-2 overall, but cashing the Lightning there is a 3-unit play. That puts us in profit there on the NHL side as well. NBA had a little bit of a rough night there. We got the full 9 points on the Spurs, but San Antonio just laid down flat on that one. So that was a little bit rough. We'll see if we can have a little bounce back there on the NBA side, but when you're printing all those units on the college basketball side, those NBA ups and downs don't hurt quite so much. So a big winning day there on the college basketball side at stumpthespread.com. You definitely got to get over there and check out the premium picks, guys. Those premium picks are usually not going to match what you see from me here in the videos because I'm not the premium handicapper over there at stumpthespread.com for NHL, NFL, college football, like all kinds of stuff. We have experts over there covering every single one of those major sports, and they have over a decade's worth of experience covering all those games. And it's a great time to dive in too because you get so much bang for your buck with so many sports going on right now. So definitely get over there to stumpthespread.com and sign up. Those premium packages can pay for themselves pretty quickly. You sign up for a week, you get a 5-0 college basketball day. You should be free rolling at least the rest of that week, if not the rest of your month. So definitely make sure you're getting in on the premium action over there at stumpthespread.com. You also got to check out all the free stuff. There are free picks posted every single day under the free picks tab. You definitely don't want to be missing out on those. Anything could be covered. NHL, NBA, college basketball, you name it. It could end up under that free picks tab with a full write-up. It's a great way to sample what you would get as a premium member over there at stumpthespread.com. Also, you got to get on that free email newsletter, guys. It's a fantastic resource every single solitary day. A big golf write-up just came out for the PGA event that's going on. I think it's the first one of the season. I'm not a huge golf guy, but a premium PGA, lots of PGA stuff going on. The season's kicking off, all kinds of crazy news breaking, and our guys are breaking it all down for you. A lot you can find in those emails, and you'll find stuff in the premium stuff over at stumpthespread.com as well. So definitely make sure you're getting in on those emails. They cover all the niche sports like golf, NASCAR, tennis, WNBA, UFC, crazy stuff like that, but also breakdowns on all the major sports, NFL, tons of touchdown and player props every single weekend, free picks against the spread. Definitely want to make sure you're getting in on those, and all kinds of other free picks come out in those emails every single solitary day. It's very easy to sign up. You just go to stumpthespread.com, click that little login button, and it's going to prompt you to set up a free account. Guys, for your name and your email address, that's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day. Also, if you're looking to buy a Stump the Spread hoodie, you can purchase one over there at stumpthespread.com under the shop tab. We're selling them literally at cost right now. So if you're looking to get in with free shipping, they're at cost. So it costs us $40 to make one. We charge you $40 and we make it and we ship it right to you. So definitely get in on that if you're interested. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single solitary Monday. We love doing those giveaways. Put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel live here on the video. Spin that wheel. Whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely, if you're interested, really love all my YouTube channel members. A huge shout out to all of you guys. It's nice to know I've got some super fans in here. Now, let's go ahead and dive back in. We got lots more basketball to break down here today. And next up, we're looking at the Auburn Tigers heading to Mizzou to take on the Missouri Tigers. Auburn comes into this game 10-6 on the season. They're 1-2 in SEC play, so not necessarily on fire. They did lose that game against Georgia that could have really gone either way. That was pretty nuts. They did lose by 2 points to Texas A&M. Their last time out, they did win a huge upset, taking down number 15 Arkansas 95-73. That was an insane game. That was absolutely incredible performance there from Auburn. We're loving what we're seeing from Keyshawn Hall. 21, 22 points a game from him and shooting 50% from the field is no joke. They're in the top 32 in the nation in total offense. Their rebounding numbers are fine. Their defensive numbers are not great, so keep that in mind. That is a little bit concerning, but they played amazing against Arkansas. Unfortunately, that does leave them in a bit of a letdown spot here as they go to Missouri to take on the Mizzou Tigers. Now, Missouri, they're 12-4 on the season. They're 2-1 so far in SEC play, taking down Florida in a big upset, winning that game by 2, taking down Kentucky by 5. They did lose at Ole Miss in their last one, so a bit of a letdown, but now they're back at home, and this Mizzou team does have a pretty good home court advantage. We'll see if they can make the most of it here. Mark Mitchell's been a monster for them this season, 17, 18 points a game, 57% from the field. He's a monster. They're a very good offensive team as well. Their rebounding numbers are a little bit concerning, and their defense isn't incredible, but this is kind of an offense-first team that also does play some defense. It isn't like seasons past where this team played no defense. They play some defense, so we'll see if that comes into play in this one. Missouri, they are 1.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 154.5. Auburn, they're 10-6 against the spread. They're 11-5 to the over. Missouri, they are 7-9 against the spread. They're 10-6 to the under. This is a little bit of a tough one, guys. I do think Auburn is slightly the better team, but I think in a big letdown spot after that win over Arkansas and the fact they're going on the road, I'll take Missouri playing at home in this one. I think they find a way, one way or the other, to come out on top in this one by at least a couple points. Not a big ask there, and their home court advantage is very, very solid. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Kentucky Wildcats going on the road to take on the LSU Tigers. More SEC action here, guys, with the Wildcats coming off a 92-68 blowout win there over Mississippi State. They've not had easy sailing. They're only 1-2 in conference play. I mean, they're only 10-6 overall. It has not been an easy road. They played a very tough non-conference schedule, but did not find tons of success. Getting manhandled a couple times, and yeah, it has not been easy. This is a team that has very solid season-long numbers, but I do question how good they are in the clutch, and I mean, giving up 69.4 points per game is great, but they're 72nd in the nation total offense. They don't have a monster leading score. Like, OA is not that amazing if you ask me, so we'll see what they can do. Low having season-ending surgery, I don't think that's ideal, so we'll see what happens here as they go to LSU to take on the Tigers. They're 0-3 in conference play. They are 12-4 overall, but they played a pretty weak non-conference schedule, and they've lost to Texas A&M, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt here to start their SEC campaign. Thomas Jr. is not necessarily a terrible guard, obviously. I mean, 16 points, 7 assists per game is great. We're loving what we're seeing from a lot of guys on this team, if we're honest, but it hasn't really added up to wins in SEC play. So we'll see what happens. They are at home in this one. That should help. They're 45th in the nation total offense. Their rebounding numbers look good, and they're getting 3.5 points here at home against a Kentucky team that I'm a little bit worried about. We've got a total of 152.5. Kentucky, they're 7-9 against the spread, 9-7 to the under. LSU is 9-7 against the spread, 8-7-1 to the under. I will take LSU getting 3.5 points here at home. I'm a little bit worried the odds makers are telling us which way to go here, given Kentucky, having them be the favorites here on the road, but I think LSU getting a free three-pointer plus the hook in this one makes the most sense. Rapid fire through these games, we're looking at number 10 Vanderbilt. They're going on the road to take on the Texas Longhorns. Now, Vanderbilt, they're on an insane run. They're 16-0 to start the season. They're coming off a win there over LSU, winning that game by 11. They were at home. Vanderbilt was at home for that game, so well played, but still, that's a game you're supposed to win. I mean, I don't really know. This team is looking great. They haven't played any super tough teams in the SEC except for Alabama, and they won that one by 6. Tyler Taner's a monster, 17 points, 5 assists per game. This team's 8th in the nation total offense. They're a very good defensive team, and they rebound the ball. So there is an awful lot to love here about Vanderbilt. Now, are they getting a little bit, tight because of the whole winning streak thing? Maybe, but they did just take care of business against LSU. They won at South Carolina pretty handily. Now they're heading to Texas to take on the Longhorns, who are only 10-6 on the season, so not killing it. They did just get a huge road win there over Alabama, winning that game 92-88. So well played there by Texas. The Longhorns aren't insane, but they are a very well-rounded team. Their defense isn't great, but their offense is good. They crash the boards pretty well. They did lose at Tennessee. They are at home for this one, though, so we'll see what they can do. The last time they played a home SEC game, they lost to Mississippi State in a barn burner of a game, but I will say Vanderbilt's just a little bit better than Mississippi State. So we'll see what happens in this one. Texas is getting 5.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 165.5. Vanderbilt's 10-6 against the spread, 9-7 to the over. Texas is 8-7 against the spread and 10-5 to the over themselves. Guys, I think this is a, you could take the over in this spot if you wanted to, but much better than that. I'm playing the letdown spot here for the Longhorns. Give me Vanderbilt -5.5. I think it's a great spot for them and a play that has a great chance to make the pinned comment. Heading into our last couple of college basketball games, before we hop over and cover that NBA slate, we got the number 14 Carolina Tar Heels going on the road to take on the Stanford Cardinals. Now, North Carolina, obviously a bit of a tough travel spot for them, heading all the way out to Stanford. Their last time out, they did win 87-84 over Wake Forest. They're 2-1 in ACC play. Caleb Wilson's a monster, 20 points per game, 58% from the field. This team has lots and lots of talent on it. They're in the top 100 nationally in offense. Their rebounding numbers are elite, and they play some very, very good defense. They did have that weird hiccup of a loss at SMU, but they've got some good wins under their belt this year, knocking off Kentucky. They did get blown out by Michigan State, but they beat Kansas early in the year. So, the Tar Heels are headed in the right direction. Stanford also headed in the right direction, though. They are 2-2 in conference play. They did lose to Seattle early in the season, which is not a great look. They also lost that crazy weird 47-40 game against Notre Dame. They're fresh off a 70-55 loss at number 23 UVA, so that's a tough team and a tough environment to play in. So they do find themselves in a bit of a bounce back spot here, but they've got a tough couple games. They play UNC, then they play Duke. Both those are at home. They do have elite level shot making on this team, but their rebounding numbers are really suspect. Their defensive numbers overall are not that great. So they are going to be relying pretty heavily on this being a tough travel spot from UNC here. And I think that's why Stanford's only getting 2.5 points at home. We've got a total of 142.5. North Carolina, they're 9-7 against the spread, 11-5 to the over. Stanford's 9-8 against the spread. They're 11-6 to the under. I don't think we're going to see Stanford have a good time in this one. I know they got that crazy upset win over Louisville, but I don't see something similar happening in this one. I will definitely take North Carolina to get the winning cover here. They're just too skilled. I know they could potentially struggle here with a tough travel situation, but I don't think it's that tough. If Stanford was getting like 6, maybe we could think about the Cardinals, but I'll take UNC in this one all day. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at a very fun in-state rivalry game. We've got Arizona State, the Sun Devils, going on the road, kind of, to take on the number 1 Arizona Wildcats. Now, Arizona State, they're 10-6 on the season. They played a tough game earlier in the year against then number 19 Gonzaga. They've beaten Texas this year. They did lose against USC. They beat Oklahoma. Lost to UCLA, lost to Oregon State. That's a bad loss for sure. Lost to Colorado, got obliterated by BYU, but they are fresh off a desperately needed 87-84 win there over Kansas State. So we'll see what they can do. They avoided the look-ahead spot. Well played there. It's not like Kansas State's very good, but we'll see what Arizona State can do here in this rivalry game. Maurice Odom, 16 points per game and 6 assists. Nothing too bad there. This team can definitely score it. The defense and rebounding, though, are potential issues in this spot, we'll just say. They are not great. And they're taking on the greatest team in college basketball right now, the number 1 Arizona Wildcats, who are 16-0. They've been incredible. They knocked off number 3 Florida to start their season. They've beaten UCLA, UConn, Auburn, Alabama, and most recently they took down TCU 86-73. This team is deep and talented. They're 7th in the nation total rebounding. They're very good defensively. They're 14th in total points per game. They're just loaded with talent up and down the roster, and that's why they're 21.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 167.5. Arizona State, they're 9-6-1 against the spread this year, and they're 10-6 to the over. Arizona is 10-5-1 against the spread. They're 10-6 to the over as well. I know those trends tell you to take the over 167.5 in this game. That's a pretty big number. I probably am not going to get involved in that, but in a rivalry spot, 21.5 points is just too many. Give me Arizona State to make this a semi-competitive basketball. They don't even have to be a real basketball game. They could lose by 20 and we still win this bet. So give me the Sun Devils in this one. I think they find a way to stay at least semi-attached here in a massive rivalry spot. Now, guys, time to hop over and cover that NBA slate. Make sure you're doing me a huge favor, hitting that thumbs up button. I really appreciate everybody that takes that 1 second to click that little thumbs up button and help me out. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And get over to stumpthespread.com and check out all the stuff we offer over there every day. A lot better picks getting put out there than are getting put out by me, especially when it looks like those Atlanta Hawks are not going to be able to turn it around here against the Lakers, who have already scored 101 points in the third quarter isn't even over. The Hawks are down by 17, so weirder things have happened, especially against a team like the Lakers that plays no defense, but I am not necessarily loving it. That Warriors-Portland game, we are still live. There's been 108 total points scored at halftime. That's not great, but not undoable. So we'll see what happens with those. Let's go ahead and look at our first game for Wednesday, though. We've got the Toronto Raptors heading to Indiana to take on the Pacers. The Raptors come into this game 24-17 on the season. They have lost 2 out of their last 3. They split that little 2-game series there in Toronto against the 76ers. We were on the 76ers in the final game of that series, in game 2, and that one paid off nicely. So we'll definitely take it. In that game in general, the Raptors they're not at full strength. Like, how good can you really expect Toronto to be when, Brandon Ingram did play in that game, but no RJ Barrett. Scotty Barnes had a letdown game, which makes sense. Not a great shooting night there for Emmanuel Quickley, only 2 of 10 from 3. So as a team that shot 16% from 3, not going to win a lot of games in the NBA when that's going on. So looking at their injury report, still pretty banged up. No Jakob Poeltl, no RJ Barrett. Let's double check and make sure those are confirmed. Yeah, those are confirmed. Yeah, no RJ Barrett for this game, as they head to Indiana to take on the Pacers, who maybe got a little bit lucky there against the Celtics to win that game straight up. We had them +8, so we were going to be fine either way. They have won 3 in a row, which is kind of crazy for a team that's really struggled this season, but they're putting some good games together. We've liked all season long. We've seen Siakam. He had 21 in that game. We liked, in general, what we saw from Jay Huff. He's been a really nice piece for them. He had 20, 13 from Nemhard, 11 points there from Jarris Walker. They shot 43% from three in that game. And, despite the fact they only shot 6 free throws, Boston only shot 9. And Boston did have a little bit of an edge there on the boards, but the Pacers at home are kind of a different animal. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Their injury report coming into this game looks about like what you would expect. No Mathurin still, Isaiah Jackson sidelined, but other than that, they are healthy and ready to go. They're getting 2.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 223.5. Toronto is 10-9 against spread on the road, 6-10 against spread after a loss, 25-16 to the under. The Pacers are 13-9 against spread at home, 6-2 against the spread after a win this season. They're 25-15 to the under themselves. I do think we have to very seriously consider under 223.5 in this game. I don't think there's going to be a crazy amount of offense. I think under is very, very live. In terms of a side, I'll take the Pacers getting 2.5 points here at home. They're a much better, much more competitive team playing at home. They like to put on for the home fans at least a little bit. Even in a tanking season, I think they find a way to give Toronto everything they can possibly handle here in a spot that doesn't really look that friendly for the Raptors. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers heading to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. Now, Cleveland, they're 22-19 on the season. They are in a big bounce back spot coming off that loss to the Jazz. We were on Utah in a big way in that game, and it really, really paid off. The Jazz have been pretty freaking nice to us this season. So we'll see what goes on in this one. Cleveland definitely in a bit of a bounce back spot, but also haven't been great this year. In that loss, we saw Garland lead the way with 23 points. We saw Donovan Mitchell only have 21. Although his shooting numbers were fine, it just doesn't feel like this squad is meshing. They're losing games to the Utah Jazz when they shoot. They shot 41% from three. Utah shot 44, and we see the Cavaliers find a way to lose. Not a great look. They come into this one looking pretty freaking healthy. Dean Wade, really the only major injury concern. You're going to have Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Jared Allen ready to go. We'll see what they can put together here as they head to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers, who are coming off that nice 115-102 win in Toronto. We had the 76ers in that one. We needed them in that one. They did come through for us. Embiid, after being questionable, did play. He put up 27 points. We saw 33 from Maxey. He played great. Not a great shooting night from Paul George, although he kept it down to only 13 attempts. That's much, much better. And nobody really going too nuts off the bench. They could definitely use some bench production there in Philly. So we'll see what happens here. Lots of guys on the injury report, which is what we're used to seeing from the 76ers for basically Joel Embiid's entire career. VJ Edgecombe, he's probable due to a left abductor contusion. Sounds like he'll be out there. Paul George dealing with his knee, he's probable, and Embiid dealing with his knee is also probable. So it should be the full-strength 76ers in this one. They're 1.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 238.5. Cleveland, they're 6-11 against spread on the road. They're 6-12 against spread after a loss. They're 22-19 to the under. The 76ers are 9-10 against spread at home, 10-11 against spread after a win. They're 20-18 to the over. I think this is a very good matchup spot here for the Philadelphia 76ers. There aren't terrible options for guarding Embiid necessarily. Mobley and Jared Allen can maybe slow him down a little bit, but do you really want Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell trying to guard Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe on the perimeter? I do not think so. Give me the 76ers here at -1.5. I think this play is very, very live. Cruising right along, we're looking at the Utah Jazz heading to Chicago to take on the Bulls. This Jazz team that we were just talking about, man, it's looked interesting. They're 14-25, so not winning a ton of games, but they are competitive on a nightly basis, and this team has some talent on it. They're coming off that 123-112 win over Cleveland. Keontae George had a massive bounce-back game as predicted, cashed a nice little player prop for us, put up 32 points, Markkanen put up 28, Kevin Love had 11 off the bench, Nurkic posted a monster double-double, 11 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. He's revitalized his career somewhat there in Utah, so we'll see if they can kind of keep this thing rolling or what they'll do to try and derail it. They are fully healthy coming into this game, so that's definitely a positive. Not going to be resting Keontae George or Markkanen or Nurkic. Ace Bailey is back, and he's been at least somewhat of a contributor, and this team is deep, and they've got some decent bench players. So we'll see what they can do here. They're going on the road to take on the Chicago Bulls, who actually played pretty well in their last one. They're 18-21 on the season. They're coming off a 119-113 loss in Houston. So things didn't go exactly how they would have wanted. It was a kind of crazy outlier game. Trey Jones putting up 34 points, going 5 of 6 from 3, only missed 1 shot on the night. I'm not going to get too in the weeds here with this Bulls team. They've been pretty banged up. It's very important for them to find a way to get healthy. Buzelis has been good for them this year at times. He's very, very young, so things could really take off for him in the next couple seasons. it's hard to know what this Bulls team is really trying to do. Like, are they really trying to compete this season, or like what is the long-term plan? It appears that Giddey and Kobe White will both be sidelined for this game. Yeah, Josh Giddey just about to be reevaluated there for that hamstring, and injury management kept Kobe White out of that game against Houston, so I do think he will play in this one here at home. The Bulls, they are -2.5 in this game. We've got a total of 246.5. Utah's 8-10 against the spread on the road, 6-7 against spread after win, 24-15 to the over. The Bulls, they are playing this game on no rest. They're 11-9 against spread at home, 9-11 against spread after loss, 2-4 against spread on no rest, and they are a slight under team. Guys, I will definitely take the Utah Jazz here, getting 2.5 points. I can't believe they're underdogs. They're a much better team than the Chicago Bulls when the Jazz are playing everybody. I think Utah's in great shape in this one. Utah plus 2.5 could be our dog of the day. Rolling right along, we got the Brooklyn Nets heading to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. The Nets are 11-26 on the season. They've lost 4 in a row and 7 of their last 8. Their most recent loss was a road loss at Dallas. They lost that one 113-105. Michael Porter Jr. did play in that game and played well. The shot making he's displayed this season has been off the charts. 28 points, 6 of 10 from 3, 9 of 17 from the field. I mean, he played great. The team only shot 9 of 37 from 3, so he made 6 out of their 9 threes in that entire game. That's a big part of why they lost. He doesn't have a lot of help out there. The injury report looks clean. Sounds like they're going to keep playing him. He's obviously been in lots of trade rumors, so if he suddenly starts to be injured all the time, I would start to be thinking maybe where there's smoke, there's fire. So we'll see what happens. They're going on the road to take on the Pelicans, who are also a team that could be involved in tons of trades. They've lost a ton of games. They're coming off a 122-116 loss there against the Nuggets. Zion has been playing. Trey Murphy has been playing great this season. He's coming off a 30-piece. Zion actually struggled, only had 12 in his 31 minutes there against a shockingly good Denver team, even though they're so banged up. The Pelicans, I mean, I think it's time to kind of blow things up and start over, but that's kind of always what time it's been for the Pelicans, so we'll see what they can do here at home. They're relatively healthy. Still no Herb Jones. Is he not coming back yet? He's still dealing with that ankle issue. Okay, he will not be playing in this game. We also see Jose Alvarado on the injury report. That doesn't really matter too much for me. Sadiq Bey is back, though, and that should help. The Pelicans, though, are still getting 1.5 points at home. We've got a total of 229.5. Brooklyn is 9-7-1 against spread on the road, 13-11-1 against spread after loss, and 22-15 to the under. New Orleans, they are 13-10-1 against spread at home, 15-16-1 against spread after loss, 3-4 against the spread on no rest. They are playing on no rest in this one, and they're 23-19 to the over. I think this is a spot we have to take the Nets. I mean, the Pelicans are going to be a little bit tired. They're playing at home in this one. I don't think that necessarily helps them that much. I think we see Brooklyn probably find a way to get the winning cover in this one, but I don't trust either one of these teams nearly enough to put this thing in the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Denver Nuggets heading to Dallas to take on the Mavericks in a game that ended up on ESPN when I think they assumed things were going to look a little bit different for these two teams. Denver, they come into this one 27-13 on the season, playing totally fine without Jokic, which is incredibly impressive. They haven't played the toughest teams. They're coming off a 122-116 win there over the Pelicans. Jamal Murray going nuts, 35 points from him, 31 from Peyton Watson, who is just blossomed since getting more run out there. He played great, 18 off the bench from Tim Hardaway Jr. He's on a bit of a heater. This Nuggets team is playing really, really well despite dealing with a slew of injuries. Obviously no Jokic for this game, still no Valanciunas either, but seeing Aaron Gordon back is a big deal. Christian Brown, he's still dealing with injury, back out due to that left ankle sprain, but other than that, they're healthy. They've got the group that's been winning recently, so we'll see what they do here in Dallas, taking on the Mavericks. Weird news to kind of, maybe not weird, I don't know, interesting to see Anthony Davis announcing he won't have surgery, so he's not going to be out the rest of the year. He's just going to be out the next 6 weeks. I still do not think that's going to make the trade market for Anthony Davis very good. I don't know why anybody would give up any sort of major package for a guy who is constantly injured and wanting to get paid just an insane amount of money when he can't even be the second best player on your team, much less the best. So we'll see what they can do here. They're coming off a 113-105 win over the Brooklyn Nets, so well played there. Cooper Flagg played great in that one, 27 points from him, 2 of 3 from 3. That three-point shot coming along is a big step in the right direction. Najee Marshall played great. Klay Thompson had himself a night there coming off the bench with 18 points, going 6 of 9 from 3. He was a big part of why they were able to win that game. Will they be able to win this one? Well, that might be a bit of a big ask. Obviously, not going to see Anthony Davis for quite a while. PJ Washington is going to be sidelined. Is that confirmed? Oh, he's officially questionable, dealing with that left ankle sprain. Max Christie is listed as day-to-day. That's not great. He's actually doubtful, so it sounds like he will miss this one. So, looking at the numbers, guys, the Mavs are getting a 1.5 at home. We've got a total of 224.5. Denver, they're 14-9 against spread on the road, 15-11 against spread after win, 4-2 against the spread this year on no rest, and 25-15 to the over. Dallas, they're a solid 12-9 against spread at home. They're 5-9 against spread after win, though, and they're 26-16 to the under. Maybe I need to see a more updated injury report for Denver, but I do like the Nuggets here quite a bit. -1.5 kind of makes me think Jamal Murray might not play in this game, and that scares me, but they've looked so good even without him. I think they can handle whatever Dallas has to throw at them, so give me the Nuggets in this one as a kind of significant lead. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the New York Knicks heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings. The Knicks are coming off of a very solid 123-114 win there in Portland, now heading to Sacramento to take on the Kings. So we'll see how things go. We liked what we saw from Brunson in that game, obviously, but Cat played really well. That's a big, big step in the right direction. OG Anunoby shot the ball well. The bench didn't look incredible. Miles McBride on off shooting night. Jordan Clarkson a terrible shooting night. And Mitchell Robinson, he did what he's supposed to do. 6 points, 11 boards, a couple assists, a couple steals, 3 blocks. So he was out there doing crazy man stuff. We'll see what they can do in this one. Their injury report is obviously pretty critical here. Josh Hart being back is a nice step back for this team. They're healthy and ready to go, and I would say this squad is probably poised to go on a bit of a run here as they head to Sacramento to take on the Kings, who are 10-30 on the season. They have won back-to-back games. They took down the Lakers in very unexpected fashion, absolutely shooting the lights out. And with wins over the Rockets and Lakers recently, maybe hope rises eternal there in Sacramento. I don't know what they should really be hoping for at this point. I know they're stoked about, but we'll see what happens. Schroeder's still suspended. Westbrook, Levine, DeRozan, Precious Achiuwa, all ready to go. So we'll see what they can do here playing at home. They're getting 11.5 points. We've got a total of 232.5. The Knicks are 5-13 against spread on the road. They are 14-11 against spread after a win. They are 23-17 to the over. The Kings, they're 8-12 against spread at home, 4-5 against spread after a win, 22-18 to the under themselves. I'll be honest, this game's actually a little bit of a tough spot for me because the Knicks are playing on the front half of a back-to-back and the Kings are not. I'm going to take Sacramento here. I'll ride the hot hand a little bit. This won't go in the pin comment. I don't trust them enough here, but I will take Sacramento getting 11.5 points. I just get the feeling they find a way to make this game close, but not a pinned comment kind of play. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the Washington Wizards going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Clippers. The Wizards obviously made the biggest trades of the season so far, picking up Trae Young, trading away CJ McCollum. We'll see what that does for them long term. In the short term, they're coming off a 93-112 loss there against the Phoenix Suns. No Trae Young in that game, obviously. We liked what we saw from Alex Sarr. He's actually looking like a very solid piece. Trey Johnson played well in that game as well, but not a ton of bright spots right now for the Washington Wizards. We'll see what goes on once they get Trae Young out there. I don't know how much they're going to try and let him play. They are a team that really does need to tank it out, and Trae Young will not be playing in this game. So we'll see how that goes. They're heading to LA to take on the Clippers, who had 16-23 on the season, really shot themselves in the foot early, but they've been coming on strong recently, winning 4 out of their last 5 games. They're coming off a 117-109 win over the Hornets, which those wins over the Hornets are not quite as easy as they used to look. Kawhi was questionable for that game. This seems like that was a lie. Apparently was dealing with some sort of ankle injury. Well, didn't look like it. Bro went out there, scored 35 points in 31 minutes, went 11 of 19 from the field, and just straight up killed. We love what we saw from James Harden. John Collins actually had a pretty bad night in terms of offense, but was very impactful. He was a plus 16, 14 points off the bench for Jordan Miller. All of a sudden, the Clippers are playing well. We'll see if this has the legs to continue, see if they can get any sort of bench help. We'll also see what kind of punishment comes down from the NBA for that whole cap circumvention stuff that went on with Kawhi. They are a little bit banged up here. Kawhi questionable with that ankle again. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that he plays, because, they lied about it last time and he did play. Zubac is questionable due to a left ankle sprain himself. Whether or not he's out there doesn't move the ankle, doesn't move the needle for me too much. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Clippers are 11.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 224.5, so not a very big number. We do see neither one of these teams are playing on the front half of a back-to-back, so no concerns there. Washington 7-12 against spread on the road and 12-15 against spread after a loss, and a 500 over/under team. The Clippers are 8-11 against spread at home, 8-7 against spread after a win, 20-19 to the under. I think this Wizards team is pretty freaking bad. And I think they took very nice steps to make it worse. Give me the Clippers here, minus 11.5. This isn't a game I'm going to get super involved in, but I do think if you're dying to bet on the last game of the night, the Clippers are the way you want to go. Guys, that's all the games we have out there for today on a very busy Wednesday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Really appreciate all of you that are taking that split second to click that little like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I do take pity subscriptions if you're feeling bad for me after such a terrible day there in the YouTube streets yesterday. At least the premium picks did a lot better. Let me know in the comments any questions you have about today's slate or anything else you want to say. If you just want to tell me I'm terrible after yesterday, I don't blame you at all. I appreciate you all for watching. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com if you want to see some real winning picks. Check out the premium picks. Check out the free picks. Get on that email list. And we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.